Hello, this is Amber Rain Davis from NotableInk.com. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited to announce that I have an Altenew Academy class going live on February 21st, 2019. It's called Zentangle for Cardmakers. And as I am gearing up and finalizing lesson plans and videos for that, I am looking at my stamps, dies, and stencils in an all new way. I'm looking at the white space they can offer because it's the white space that I tangle in. So I wanted to share this card with you today. I'm going to be using Altenew's Molded Lines Stencil. We're going to be doing a little ink blending. So I don't know if you've seen the new blending brushes out on the market. I got them shortly before I went over to Creativation, and they also demoed them there as well. And I absolutely love these. If you saw my New Year's Eve card, it was the 2019 card. That was the first time I had ink blended with them. And they're just amazing. I find that they are significantly easier to get a nice blend with. And so I just wanted to show that again today. So I'm using two Altenew Crisp Dye Inks. I'm using Volcano Lake, and on the bottom half of the card I'm going to be using Hydrangea, which is a purple color. And one of the things that you'll find with these blending brushes is that it does take longer to get a more saturated coverage, but I don't mind that at all. So I have this sped up, I believe, 4 times faster than what I actually did it. So you can see that the color goes on softly, and if you want a really deep color, what I would recommend is a few layers. Put more ink on your brush from the start, so really give it a good swipe in the ink pad, or use a more intense color. So if you're trying to do a gradient, then I would do Altenew inks are great for that because they have the 4 different shades in each set. So I'm actually just using 2 different colors here, and once I get the coverage down that I want, I'm going to swipe it back over the middle so I can get a good blend in between the 2 colors. So you can see that here. So I'm doing that with both colors. And if you're interested in seeing more about ink blending, I know that Christina Warner has a video out now. I haven't watched it, but I did see the samples that she showed, and they look beautiful. She's using Distress Oxides in her videos. So here I'm just showing you how I clean my brushes after each use. So I use 2 different brushes, but I literally just wipe it off on a scrap piece of cardstock, and you can see here there's light purple at the top and then nothing at the bottom. So they wipe off really easily, and I'm just lifting up my stencil. I'm going to be using a Micron 005 pen. That's the thinnest pen that they have, and the reason I'm using that is because I'm tangling in a really narrow, small space. So these tangles are going to be sped up. My intention is not to teach the tangles or do in-depth instruction in them, because that's going to be in the class. So the class that I'm teaching, Zentangle for Cardmakers, will teach you how to draw 12 different Zentangle patterns, also with a couple of variations on some of the patterns. And then it'll also have various card techniques. So layer stamping, watercolor, ink smushing, just all sorts of different things. We're going to be tangling on a die cut, and so a lot of different card techniques, and then also Zentangle. So the idea is not to have it's not going to be a traditional Zentangle class. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and so I do teach Zentangle classes here in Orange, California. But this class is to teach card makers how to embellish their cards with Zentangle patterns. So a little bit different. If you're looking for a traditional introduction to Zentangle, that's not going to be this class. You can take a look at my website at NotableInk.com to find out when my classes are. And I also hope to offer some online classes on my own website. I don't have a date yet for that, but that is one of my goals for 2019. So you can see we're doing a few different patterns here, and I thought it would be cool to have almost a rainbow of different patterns through the middle of this card, and then leave the outer lines bare, just bare white. And so we're doing the last pattern here, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I'm just using VersaFine Onyx Black ink here. And I stamped and ink blended on 100% cotton paper. It's from Savoy. It's the Brilliant White one. And that is a paper that I really like to tangle on. That is another thing that we talk about in class, is what are the best tools to use, such as your papers, your pens. What do you look for in pens? What do you look for in paper, and why? As you know, there is specific paper that is going to provide a better stamped image. The same is true of Zentangle or any other art. Same is true for watercolor. Your watercolor paper is going to affect the type of results that you're going to get. So as a finishing touch, I'm just shading the molded lines to add some additional dimension to the card. I popped up my sentiment, and there's the final card. I hope you enjoyed this brief project today, and if you have an interest in Zentangle and adding it to your cards, that you check out my class, Zentangle for Cardmakers, at altenewacademy.com. I'll put a link down below, and then I'll also link to a couple other Zentangle cards that I've done. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and as always, all the products are listed below, and you can also reach me on my Instagram and Facebook accounts at Notable Ink.